This is the 3D Viewmaster Showtime, Dr. Shrinker and Wonderbug from the Croft Super Show. Hey kids, if you like horror stories, this one's going to keep you right on the edge of your seats. It's got an all-bad cast of wild villains, a mad scientist and a half-mad laboratory assistant, and a couple of the creepiest crooks you've ever seen. It also has some good guys. Make that 3 good little guys because BJ, the girl in this story, Brad and Gothic have been reduced to doll size. How? By the incredible Dr. Shrinker's incredibly effective reducing machine. The kids or shrinkies are 9 to 10 inches tall, not much higher than a cat's back. The tiny trio escaped from the mad doctor's laboratory. Shortly after that, it looked as if they'd struck it rich. They stumbled onto some pieces of 8 17th century Spanish coins. Brad claimed they were worth their weight in gold. Gordy said he'd get a lot more excited if they were 20th century Italian pizzas. BJ believed that with the coins they could buy their freedom from Dr. Shrinker. But the Shrinkies' troubles weren't over. As a matter of fact, they had only just begun. Viewmaster Reel 1. Picture 1. The Shrinkies were still trying to decide what to do when they heard a terrifying sound. They looked up through the tangled jungle foliage. When you're 10 inches tall, you almost never look down. What's that? Gordy asked nervously. Picture 2. Well, BJ replied, it's either 2 divers in wetsuits or one 4-footed rubber duck. The 2 men wore full diving gear, hoods, diving masks, and swim fins. Between them, they carried an old treasure chest. It was obviously heavy, and no wonder it was filled with Spanish doubloons. Do you know what happened next? The 2 bad guys spotted the kids. They caught Brad and Gordy, but BJ got away. She ran straight to Dr. Shrinker's. A dumb place to run for help, you say? Not at all. If you're desperate, it's any port in a storm. Picture 3. When the doctor heard about the fortune in the treasure chest, he said, why, of course, I'll help. And if those hoodlums stand in our way, I'll let them have it with my miracle immobilizer. Picture 4. The 2 hoodlums wouldn't give up the treasure without a struggle, would you? So Dr. Shrinker let them have it with his miracle immobilizer. Zap! The hoodlums got more than a cold shoulder. They were frozen solid, inside and out all over. Brad and Gordy stashed inside one of the swim fins for safekeeping. Told the doctor they'd show him where the chest was hidden if he'd put them on the ground. He agreed, and they were free. Picture 5. Shrinker's assistant showed up with BJ and demanded a share of the loot. Careful, Hugo, the doctor warned, pointing his freeze gun. You and your money may both wind up as frozen assets. Picture 6. As they'd promised, the boys led Shrinker and Hugo to the treasure. It was in quicksand. The doctor foolishly put his gun under the chest. Then he watched helplessly as both disappeared from view. Picture 7. The kids got away. Without his gun, the doctor couldn't stop them. The Shrinkies raced back to their hollow log home. Somehow they'd find a way to regain their size, foil Dr. Shrinker, and escape. Next, Wonderbug speeds to the rescue. Another thrilling adventure in Viewmaster Reel 2. Picture 1. Schlepcar jerked to a stop smack in the middle of a high school football field. "Hey, CC," moaned in disgust. "Don't fail us now. This ain't no spot for a picnic." "It's good enough for me," said Barty. "It'll do," Susan agreed. So they jumped out of the VW and began to eat their lunch of delicious fried chicken. The kids were unaware that some very strange things were going on in the old boarded-up high school nearby. Picture 2. The evil Dr. Ferris had set up a lab in the aging bus barn back of the high school, and she just cooked up a deadly potion. It changed gentle houseplants into savage clinching vines. One of them had wrapped its sticky tendrils around Ferris' neck. It was trying to crush her associate's ribs. Picture 3. Hearing Luther's cry for help, Barty blew Schlepcar's horn. In a flash, the drab VW became Wonderbug. Picture 4. "Look, Dr. Ferris." Luther's mouth was wide open in surprise. "That car is coming to our rescue." Ferris couldn't believe her eyes. A car was coming to their rescue? "Why, yes," she said, shaking her head. "It's trying to smoke out this plant." Picture 5. It worked. Ferris was free at last. She turned to Barty, Susan and Cece and asked them if she could help them in any way. "After all," she said, "your car saved our lives, and we're grateful." "Well, our car does need some oil," Susan said. "Got just what you need," said Dr. Ferris. "It's an oil additive. It'll fix up your car just fine." Picture 6. Cece poured the oil into Wonderbug's tank. The bug's engine rumbled. Its fenders flapped. The car was sprouting fangs. "Man," Cece cried, "those dudes have turned him into a Schleppenstein." Picture 7. The monster bug chased the kids away, but Susan had a plan. "Maybe if we dressed up like Wolfman, Dracula and Frankenstein, we'd be able to get Wonderbug back." Their disguises fooled everyone. Dr. Ferris and Luther, even Schleppenstein. Change to Reel 3. Picture 1. "We're headed for a monster convention," Susan told Dr. Ferris and Luther. "And we're hungry. Monster want food," Barty told them. "Fried bat wings and lizard eggs, maybe some spider pie." Dr. Ferris breathed a sigh of relief. "We'll try to find some. Just stay out here. We'll be right back. Come on, Luther, let's look in the lab." Picture 2. While they were gone, Susan mixed up the antidote needed to cure their car's ills, a secret formula, H3O2, that was 100% guaranteed, she said, to turn Schleppenstein into Wonderbug again. Picture 3. The monster Wonder car rumbled, shook, and then turned into the kids' Wonder Buddy once again. Dr. Ferris and Luther saw this miraculous change in Schleppenstein and decided that caution is the better part of valor. They took off fast. Wonderbug reacted in typical fashion. He gunned his engine, did a wheelie and roared after them. Picture 4. Wonderbug had them cut off at the pass, so Dr. Ferris poured another secret formula on a tiny spider web. It instantly popped into a much larger web. Wonderbug couldn't stop. He was trapped. Picture 5. Wonderbug could be tricky too. A lever on his dashboard flipped. His antenna suddenly became a giant pair of cutting shears. He snipped his way out of the web in nothing flat. Then he cast a net of his own making. It landed right on target. Curses, snarled Luther. Outsmarted by a car. I'll never be able to live this down. The two scientists struggled to get free, but in the process they knocked over all their laboratory equipment, ruining it for future experiments. Picture 6. The kids were laughing it up in the doorway of the high school. Barry told Ferris and Luther, "It looks like your mad scientist days are over. Just make yourselves comfortable till we finish our picnic. Then we'll tell the police where you are." Picture 7. Wonderbug's work was done. He became Schlepcar once again. Everything was back to normal, and Cici was hungry. It turns out our picnic lunch is going to be our picnic dinner, he chuckled. We want to add new videos every day, so please subscribe to our channel.
And if you had fun, thumbs up